Hey everybody, this is Francesco Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report. I want to talk a little bit about cell phone radiation, and just so you have a history here, when I got out of the Navy, I tried restaurant management, didn't like it, so I went into the cellular with GTE. And believe it or not, I was one of the top sales reps for Florida, actually #1 for retail and then commercial sales for many years. Had the go ring with the diamonds and trips to Hawaii and all that stuff. Ended up going into management where I managed CLEC and ILEC out of Jacksonville, and then ended up just leaving it when I started telephonics some 16, 17 years ago. But back then, I was such a heavy user because I was their top sales rep, and I would get constant headaches right here where I would talk on the phone. And even back then, this was back when when I got into the industry, we still had a brick phone that they were phasing out. We basically had the Motorola flip phone. That was a big deal. We knew there was something wrong, especially if you're a heavy user. My wife was in the industry too. She was a retail manager, and we suspected it, but everyone kept saying, oh no, they're good for you, just like they continue to say that today. And I put out that report or story, an article today in regards to some of the admissions that have come out. And this whole idea that cell phone radiation can be harmful to your health is an open secret that's been out there in the industry for the longest time. It's a secret that the media and the cell phone companies don't like to talk about. They don't like to cover it. It's also never been scientifically proven that these signals can hurt you. And just recently, we had over here in Nokomis, where I live off in Venice, they were trying to put a cell tower up by the fire station in Nokomis. And I was watching like I always do, the county came on and they were discussing it, and one individual came up before the Sarasota County Commission and said, look, I don't want this radiation sitting in my backyard right there. It was feet away from his house when I got my grandkids there. I don't want the health issues that will come from it. They ended up voting it down, but actually they didn't vote it down. They sent it. They did and they didn't. It's got to go through some other processes, I think. Most manuals, if you look at them, they're a lot like fluoride. If you look on fluoride, it basically tells you it's bad for your health, don't swallow it, yet they put it in toothpaste. Don't get me going on the health risk of fluoride. It's just to dumb us down like the Nazis did when they fed it to the concentration camp people. But the dangers of cell phones is on the government, it's on their manuals, and they clearly say that this device may be dangerous. The government, they refuse to talk about it. They refuse to talk about the dangers of it. And then this California Department of Health came out. It was a hidden document. It was drafted years ago. I posted it today on my Telephonics medical consulting site, and I shared it on my Uncensored and my Scoop site. And basically, they come out and they admitted to the dangers that are out there and that this cell phone thing is an issue. It was drafted years ago, and it contained concerns about cell phone radiation from health officials, folks. It was released because this guy, Joe Moskowitz, he's a director at the Center of Family and Community Health at UC Berkeley. He sued the state and ordered that this document be published, that the public be known, let it be known what's going on here. He said that back in about 3 years ago, he said that this document was created 7 years ago. So over 10 years ago, they knew about this. And I think it even goes beyond that. Like I said, I was in the cellular industry for about 8 years, and that 8 years ended 17 years ago. So over 25 years ago, they've known about this. Think about it. Even on there, it says this is a draft, not for public release. They don't want us to know. The document basically came in. It said that cell phone use may increase brain cancer risk, that the EMFs can affect nearby cells and tissues. It recommended that keeping the phone away from your body. Recommends using headsets to text. Turn the phone off when it's in your pocket. Yeah, you don't want to get it near your personal area, people. Talk about some decreased stuff there. It warned that cell phone radiation can pass deeper into a kid's brain than an adult's. It recommends that parents limit the children's use of cell phones. Why was this a hidden document? Why was it a mystery? How many of you will not read the articles I put on the page today? How many of you will doubt it? Even though I think that was a major media one that put it out. I think it was a major media one. But how many of you will doubt it? Again, this is stuff that alternative media has put out years ago. Everyone's known about it. But until a government entity says, oh yeah, it's true, no one's going to believe it. Fluoride. Forget the fact that there's so many hazardous warnings about it out there until a government entity comes out and says, oh, yeah, it's true. Everyone will continue to think it's okay. My wife brought up a point. She's like, you know, when the kids were born, there was fluoride in some kind of toothpaste or in the water, some kind of water for your kids. And my wife said, why is fluoride needed in it when the kid doesn't even have teeth? It's to dumb us down, folks. Keep us under control. Keep us the sheep. I know that sounds crazy, but trust me, something's not right. You got to question everything. And people always ask, why do I just get outside major media? Why do I pull documents from the left and the right? Because you got to get all this information. You got to get all this information. And that's why I came up with that logo. Educate, inspire, and affect change. We all need to do it. This has been Francesco Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report.